Hello, this is Deere with your Farming Simulator 2013 Mod Spotlight. This episode we need to harvest because I've got some grain, I've got some corn over there, I've got more grain over there. So I've got to harvest. And I actually don't have any combines, which works out well because if we go to the shop here, I have picked up a pack of John Deere harvesters. The STS. It is both the single wheel and the row crop, and we'll talk about the differences there, and also the corn cutter and the draper. I did some digging around on these. Purchase price, first off, that would be truly the purchase price roundabout for a brand new 9770 or 9670 or 9770. Though when I went and looked, you could actually pick up a used 9670 for about $90,000. How about that for information you probably don't need to know? Um, so we'll go ahead and buy these. Now, the list of people that were involved in this is quite large. And I don't like the fact there's nothing for the corn cutter, but let's buy it anyway. And buy that one as well. Okay. The list is quite large. I'm not actually going to read off the full list. The update for 2013 was by Gary H2012 of the FS modding team. But the list of people involved is very long, and it'll all be in the description, along with the link to the download. I have a problem now. I've got vehicles on top of each other. Okay. Well, let's start by trying to get this one off of its neighbor. So we can actually look at it. Alright, let's get this parked here. Let's get this one off of here. Back up. Get off of your corn header. Thank you. Alright. Now we can get a look at these two vehicles. So, over here we've got the 9750 STS. It looks right. Now this is the single wheel. And notice the difference here with the single wheel versus the row crop wheels, which is two thin wheels, and that's perfect for going up various different crops where you don't necessarily want to compact the ground as in such a wide manner. So this one looks very nice, very green, very John Deere. Go green, right? Alright. I like all the little detail. We've got John Deere serial number. We've got a fire extinguisher. Very, very important. I can clip through the wheel. I don't like that. But we got the fire extinguisher. Some controls. Nice big cab. And that is proper. See, I don't like when you can clip through things like that, but let's get inside again. Alright, the inside looks right for a John Deere, like this. Let's see, next. Alright, so we can just jump between the two views. I was hoping to kind of hop into the side seat like that John Deere tractor. But still. Alright, you can see on the interior into the hopper there. Looks nice. Let's see, turn the beacon on. Yep, plenty of beacons. Everyone's going to see us coming. Plenty of light. Let's get in the cab here. Yeah, it's nice, good lighting. Nice actuated arm for rolling out. Very good. Alright, let's close that. M key is straw. Chopped straw. Straw? Chopped straw. Oh, I know what that is. Okay. Alright, so I'll actually show you what that is here in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. So I need to look at this header on here. Alright, let's pull forward so we're not clipping into anything. Alright, big John Deere header. The 640 FD. Looks about right. And the 640 FD has got a pretty nice span on it. I'm my second screen, I've got the information on the combines up. I'm going to pull the information on the 640 FD while I'm moving these to the field so we can talk about them. All right, so let's check out this one. It is identical in all ways, really, to that one. Difference being the row crop wheels, which is helpful in certain conditions. You might want the row crop wheels. All right. Let's drive from inside the cab here. Let's check this acceleration out. Whee, whoa. All right, some fast acceleration. All right, so it's a New Holland corn cutter, which is about right. All right. Fold. Let's fold this guy up. That looks good. Doesn't look like we have any clipping going on. Good. Yes. All right, let's unfold that as well. Good. All the actuation looks right. Let's get out and look at that. This one, the colors, I don't know. It just seems, I mean, yes, I just bought it brand new, granted. But it just seems too clean almost. How much can I clip into? I can't clip much into that, which that's good. 24 line John Deere. Yep. All right, so let me get these over to the farm fields and then we'll get back. I'll turn the video back on then and we will see how these work. Okay, I took the tractors, well, I reset the tractors, but first I spent a while futzing around with the mower, the heads to get this lined up, and it's still not perfect. We had a little crash, but that's okay. This mower head here, this is the in-game mower head. This is the corn head for the Deere 7545. It's got a 7.2 meter working width. So here's the Dutes. Here's the John Deere. It's about double the size of the Dutes. Okay. Now, at first glance, that looks wrong. At first glance, the thought is the Dutes is the correct size and the John Deere is oversized. However, the John Deere is a much larger mower head. So this mower head should span approximately 13.5 meters. Okay. The Dutes is a 7 meter. So it should be about double the size of the Dutes. And that's approximately right. If you also look at the Dutes, notice the corn heading pieces. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 head pieces. The ends we're not so worried about. But there's actually 9, you could call them talons if you wanted, but there's 9 pieces. The John Deere is 24 of them. So again, over double the number. And that's correct as well. These corn headers have a specific distance that these pieces set. So the bigger the header, the more pieces it has, the larger the header is going to be. Now, this is also one of the larger swathed pieces of equipment other than the forage vehicle, but it gets sold folded up and I don't feel like unfolding it. So I also stuck the 670 FD. Oop, I just fell through the header there. So the 640 FD is behind the corn head. And it looks, again, at first glance, like it's oversized. Like it should be smaller. It's bigger than the Dutes corn header. But again, that's actually correct. I went and found the information on the forum for combine harvesters. Believe it or not, there is a forum for that. And I found the proper size and specking of this particular head. And this fits exactly with what that specking is supposed to be. So despite them looking extremely large for the game, they actually are correctly scaled. So I'll be back again when I get these back to the field. Alright, we're back at the farm. And some might be wondering, I usually drive these back from the shop, but there's actually a real good reason why I didn't drive these back from the shop. The corn header isn't such a big deal. The corn header, once it folds, it's actually about the size of almost the size of the unfolded Dutes. So it fits pretty well wherever it needs to go. But if I get in this monster, Now this is going to take up a good bit of the roads they give us here, and barely fits between our buildings. While we're talking about this, there's a couple things I don't like already. The backup speed, that's perfect, but give it the full beans going forward, it quickly runs up to 22 miles an hour. The speed, the acceleration, just seems way too fast for a vehicle of this size. Yes, they're 338 horsepower vehicles, and in fact they are. Actually, they're 393-ish, give or take, on a 9-liter diesel engine, but they should accelerate quite that fast. So, alright, let's line this up. Alright, before we start that, no, not that. There we go. One other thing, when you tab to these John Deeres, you tab into the cab. You do not tab outside. Even though you're outside in the other areas, you tab into the cab when you choose the John Deere. Alright, let's unfold this guy. So this will make very short work of this small field. So we're going to do this small field first. Alright, let's see if we can make this turn. There we go. Alright, so I need to get out of the cab to see that last end there. Now, let's look at this with the pipe out. Out, out, out. There. Alright, so now I'm going to go get... just use this guy because he's here. The other thing I wanted to show was how close you actually have to get because of that 24-row corn header. That's a very big corn header. And it's relatively recent. It's 2011, 2012 when they started putting out these 24-row corn headers. Before that it was 8-row and 12-row corn headers, and that was, you know, top of the line stuff. But these corn headers, now here's where it gets tricky. If you're driving alongside, get actually under it. There we go. Look at how close you have to be to that corn header in order to get the pipe over the truck. So you have to be very careful with what you're doing to get the pipe over the truck, or a very good driver. It would help if this truck was English and we were driving on the other side, perhaps. That would be nice. But it's not. Alright, so we've got our big corn header on. We're going to close that up. That's where I wish I had mirrors to see if it was closed or not. Alright, it's closed. Alright, so let's start her up. That sounds different, but not wrong necessarily. I'm scared to go too fast here. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now we're spitting out all of that corn chuff, whatever you want to call it. We're filling up our inside, our hopper there. Now, if things are correct, this should be a 10,000 liter tank. So, let me get this. I don't think we're going to get this thing full, but we're going to go ahead and cut this field. Look at how quickly this field goes with this 24-row header on here. Now again, this vehicle is going to handle identical to the other one over there. The only difference is the front wheels. Very nice cut. Alright, I'm going to cut this field because then I'm going to be able to get an idea of what the total capacity is. While we do this, I'm also looking at the fuel here, and the fuel is wrong, but wrong in a new way. So usually we talk about overfuel, having too much fuel in the mods. This actually doesn't have enough fuel, believe it or not. A 9770, which is merely an uprated engine and a hardened chassis to the 9750, has 945 liters of fuel. Yeah, I didn't stutter there. 945 liters of fuel. So this one only has 391 liters. The modders could have adjusted for that by decreasing the amount of fuel it uses. That certainly would have been okay. Alright, so let's turn off our harvester. And I'm going to do some quick math here. So we've got 8,914 liters on board. And I'm going to want to convert that to find out what my full is, and that's only 44% of my total. We're over volumed according to this. And this is actually directly from John Deere's owner manual, and I went and found the John Deere owner manual, and it actually wasn't that hard. It was online. I also called a cousin who does run some of these combines, and he confirmed also grain capacity is 10,570 liters in a 9770 and a 9670. He said it also holds true for the 9750 series. Pretty much the entire STS series holds about the same. According to the calculations here, this mod will hold 20,259 liters, give or take. So we're a little bit over capacity, probably double capacity. But let's get into the other one. Alright, there's that strange noise again, which actually could be the belt drive engaging. So let's go ahead and start off. So now we're dumping straw. Now, if I remember correctly, where is that? M should produce chopped straw, which it does, but you still end up with a line of straw. So, what precisely is the point then? Well, it is a functionality. There actually is an auger, a system in the back of the STS to handle that, to chop up the straw so you don't have the big straw. I'm not sure if it's been properly. I mean, the spray looks properly modeled. I'm just not sure that it's actually capable, that Farming Simulator is capable of showing that. A TEBI transition. Okay, so I finally figured out what the M did. So the chop straw, it does chop it. So I turned on chop straw. It just takes a minute for it to clear out the system. And that makes sense. This back here, there is a chopper in there. It does finally chop up straw. So now you don't have to run your baler through here. And you can just cultivate it. And everything is good to go. Back to regular programming. Alright, so let's straighten this up. Alright, so what do we think of these mods? I think they're priced approximately correct. I really like the detail. I like that there's fire extinguishers on either side. That's appropriate. You would have fire extinguishers everywhere on something like this. I like that it has the GPS piece on it. Fuel is low and grain capacity is high. That's normal. I mean, we can fix that. But we're seeing things like that in all the mods. And I don't necessarily expect every single time that they're correct. So, grain capacity is over, fuel capacity is under, price looks right, model looks good. I'm not in love with the acceleration. I don't like that. Despite both the draper that I'm running now and the corn header looking large, so I'm just going to spray straw everywhere. Despite the draper and the corn header looking large, they actually do reflect the true size of the draper and the corn header if you were to go out to your local John Deere supplier and pick one up. Overall, I like these mods. I like John Deere's as well. I like that you can choose between the large wheel or the row wheels. Those are nice. And the pipe is proper length. That closeness of the truck had to get to the corn header. That's exactly correct. So the link is in the description as always. I'm going to turn that off. There we go. Very nice. Alright, so the link is in the description as usual. I'd love to go through the list of people who are involved. This just has the edits here, but there's actually a huge list, and that's in the description as well. They did a very good job on these. I'm not necessarily in love with the paint job. There's a problem with the capacity of the hopper and the capacity of the fuel, but those can be overlooked. Price, that's probably correct. You can't buy a 9670 anymore. It's 9770 or bust, pretty much. But that looks like an appropriate price for a brand new one. The old ones are selling for, well, the old 9770s are selling for 200,000, so that's correct as well. And I did check that on several sites that sell used farm equipment. So there you go. This John Deere STS pack. I like it. Proper sizing. Maybe not for a European farm, but definitely for an American farm and a Canadian farm. So there you go. Moments later. One problem I did find while actually harvesting my field is the hired worker won't put out the pipe. There's apparently no scripting for the hired worker to pipe out. So I'm really not sure what I'm going to do. I mean, I guess I have to drive the combine myself. That sort of defeats what I would like to do. So there's a warning for you. You cannot have your hired workers pipe out for you. If you're doing a multiplayer game, probably works. Nope, come on. Maybe you'll do it. Oh, we just swing it over my head. Alright, fine. I'm going to drive on the crops because I want to see if he'll do it. Yes. Whoop. No, come back. Alright, so he doesn't put out the pipe right when you're there. He's going to wait until he's pretty full. What are you doing, you silly... Oh, okay, so each time he fills up, see how he's trying to close the pipe instead of filling the truck. So that doesn't work very much at all. It's really actually terrible. Unfortunate turn of events there. So maybe not really what you want. Again, multiplayer probably works beautifully because... Alright, so again, we'll try to sign off again. This is Deere Tebbers with your Farming Simulator 2013 Mod Spotlight.